There are dairy farms in all 50 states, and I've had the pleasure of visiting a dairy farm in Central California, but I know that most Americans have never set foot on a farm and don't really know where their dairy foods come from. Joining us today is dairy farmer Joe Kelsay to give us an inside look at modern farming. Welcome, Joe.
Hey, great to be on. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Well, Joe, my daughter is a farmer in Colorado. She is an agricultural supervisor, so I really do know how much work farming is. Tons of work. Can you tell us about your day-to-day role in the dairy farm?
Sure, happy to do it. And what a great opportunity to really have a conversation about where food comes from. This time when people are more and more disconnected from the farm directly, maybe it's their great-grandfather or great-great-grandfather that had the farm, and maybe they've never been to a farm like you have to really see what happens. But the questions certainly remain on how is food produced and what decisions happen on the farm and what does that mean for me as a person that's eating this food that comes from farms all over the country. A great place to start and a responsibility I think we have in the dairy community to really share what's happening on a farm and have a conversation about what's going on, why it's going on, and what kind of learnings we can have that go both ways. Here on the farm, ultimately what we do, we take sunshine and rain and through the magic of Mother Nature, turn it into food for people. We grow crops that we feed to animals, we take care of those animals, and they produce milk. And that milk can be used for a host of nutritious dairy products that people can enjoy at work, at school, at home, from the grocery store, at a restaurant, and what a great industry to be a part of and a great community to be a member of.
It is absolutely wonderful to be a part of, like you said, a community that provides food. Food is, necessary for us to survive, and to be so intimately connected to the earth and producing that food for so many people, I think is just a wonderful way to contribute to the world. So what is your role in food production in general?
So I think dairy farmers like me all over the country wake up every day trying to decide how do we do today better than yesterday? And that's when it comes to innovation. What kinds of new ideas do we bring to the farm, and how do we better take care of our environment and our land and our water resources? How do we better take care of the animals that we have the ability to care for every day? And how do we produce a high quality, nutritious product, milk, for people to enjoy all over the country and all over the world? Here on our farm, we farm about 2,200 acres of crops. Corn, soybeans, alfalfa, and wheat. About half of that gets used for feed for our cows. Our number one business here on the farm is our dairy herd. And so we milk about 500 cows 3 times a day here on our farm. We start milking in the morning at 9 in the morning. We again in the afternoon at 5 p.m. and we start again at 1 a.m. So 3 times a day, every day on our farm, the cows make their way through the parlor and give that nutritious food product of milk. And we have people here nearly around the clock spending time with cows, watching cows, caring for cows, and milking cows to try to do what's best and what's right for that animal that is so productive and so important to producing milk.
It's around-the-clock operation. What are some new technology trends that help you be more efficient on the farm?
Well, technology is certainly nothing new to agriculture or to dairy farming. We think about those early days of the first invention of the milking machine. Thank goodness somebody came up with that, because hand milking a cow, if you've never had a chance, I encourage you to try it sometime. It will make you really appreciate that next glass of milk that you enjoy. But those early innovations through current. I think about my grandfather's time here on our farm. And I spent a lot of time as a kid with my grandpa, and he would teach us to get up early, to work really hard all day, and to stay late until the job is done, and always be looking for how to do it better. And my grandpa's experience here on the farm, he started in the time when horses really did all the horsepower, and then saw those early tractors, and then before he moved on, he saw the big tractors come. He saw the boom, the starting of handwritten notes that moved into the boom of the internet. So his experience on the farm certainly has been impressed upon my brother and I as we run the farm today on how to innovate and how to integrate new ideas, new technology, new innovations on the farm. And so here on our farm today, we collect an immense amount of data on an individual cow basis, so we can make actionable decisions after some analysis of that data with the help of computers. So whether it's how much milk that cow gives on a daily basis, when she came to the parlor, when she left, what processes happened while she was in that parlor, and how many steps that she took for the day, we look for changes within that data set to help our herdsmen and our caretakers here on the farm do what's the best thing for that cow to make her experience here all the more better.
It's a lot of work. How does technology play in keeping your cows healthy? And, just in general, what do you do to ensure that your cows are being taken care of well?
So we employ lots of things, whether it be that cow level data that we collect or it be the housing we provide. We have free stalls, a clean, dry, comfortable bed for them to lay in. We provide them 24-hour access to water and feed. Also protection from the elements. So in the summertime in Indiana, it gets pretty hot. So we have sprinklers and fans that come on to keep the cows cool. And then in the wintertime or other inclement times, we have shade from the sun as well as protection from snow, sleet, hail, those sorts of things that we employ. Other ways I think that are important pieces of technology that help us care for the cows is our ability to implement new communication efforts. So the ways that we talk amongst ourselves. We have 13 team members here in addition to family family labor that work together to provide for the needs of the farm. And we need to talk about protocols, we need to talk about what's happening in real time as well as what's happening next. And we can communicate internally with these apps and emails and that sort of thing, but we can also communicate externally and bring new ideas into the farm, whether that be regional influence or it be an academic influence, or maybe it be a worldwide influence that might help us do a better job with the type of work we have to do every day.
Well, like you said, it is a lot of work, and having a daughter that works on a farm and is working around the clock trying to make sure that the crops are healthy and getting food harvested, I understand how much work goes into getting food into the food chain. So where can people go to learn more about dairy farming in particular?
Well, there's a couple of places. There's a really great website. Undeniablydairy.org is a great place to really source information about current dairy farming. But I'd also encourage folks to connect to a real dairy farmer in their community. There's 42,000 of us out here sprinkled around the country. There's probably one nearby. Reach out and whether it be by phone call or in-person visit, we can't wait to tell our story, share about our family, share about our business, and really connect with consumers at a really personal, individual level.
That is the best way to connect with someone on a personal level. Well, Joe, thank you so much for your time today and sharing with us your life as a dairy farmer. It's fascinating and wonderful. So thank you so much.
Thank you for having me on. Really appreciate it.